Hi, my name is Sean Velasco from Yacht Club Games, creator of Shovel Knight, and welcome to the Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast.
This is the Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast.
Welcome into episode 45 of the Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Courtney Osborne. And today I have with me Lou.
Yeah.
Is that your Nintendo Ninja
That's
voice?
my Nintendo Ninja voice. Though I'm pretty sure they'd hear me coming from behind if I made that noise before the karate chop.
I'm sneaking up on you guys. And also Miles.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. All right, so the biggest thing this week, I guess everyone's tuning in to hear, is the winner of the giveaway, right?
Yeah, they love us for us.
Yeah, they're definitely going to listen to the whole
Why don't we
podcast.
just keep it till the end of the podcast? Or let's put it somewhere in the middle.
Oh, and there's another announcement. We're going to keep it to the end, and this is going to be a 6-hour podcast.
Oh, God. I don't know if the internet can take that much.
We're going to give a letter each 10 minutes.
Spell out the winner.
And you have to decode it. It's going to be all jumbled up.
No, we're going to use QR codes. That's it.
Oh, there you
Because
go.
everyone loves those.
Yeah. Let's see. 1,
Dot,
2,
dot,
3,
space,
4,
dot.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You have 12 letters in your name. If you have 12 letters, you might be a winner.
We should just say who it is.
That's 100. It could be a 2-hour podcast if we did every 10 minutes for a letter.
Oh, God, please no.
I heard that Courtney won.
Did I?
That's what I hear.
Did I win?
Conspiracy!
Are you telling me I won? Oh my God! Can I have
right.
all of the games?
So, how about we move on to a drum roll?
I can't do a drum roll, so.
Put it in post.
Do you know how to pronounce his last name?
Type it out somewhere.
It's not. It can't be that. I don't think he cares if we mispronounce it.
I want to play
that
this
was-
game. Type it out somewhere.
Okay, well, I don't want to delay it
On
too long. There. I typed it out on our doc.
You want to say his first name?
Yeah. Okay, so the winner is Ryan.
Amiralt.
Okay, so sorry if we've mispronounced your last name. You know who you are, Ryan. You've been. In fact, actually, this morning when I tweeted that we know who the winner is, you replied instantly with me, and I was like,
God.
"Oh my God, how did he know?"
Conspiracy.
So everyone congratulate him. His Twitter, it's Arcast Studios, right? Or
Yep,
something like that?
RCA Studios,
Okay.
which I assume is his initials. You know, the only thing we don't know about him is the C in the middle.
True.
But
Clarence.
Clarence, Ryan Clarence. But yeah, so congratulations, Ryan. I am not sure which game you want, so be sure and let us know. You can email us what game you want and your address and all that good stuff at contact.mong@gmail.com.
And your shirt size.
And yeah, and your shirt size so that we know where to send it to. And yeah, all that good stuff. It's congratulations again. Lou, you want to let him know how he won?
Oh, yeah. We use the, what's it called? Rafflecopter?
Yeah, Rafflecopter.
We use Rafflecopter, and they randomize a winner. And they do tell you which method you win by. So, the post that you won by was your drawing, by the way.
Yep.
The drawing with our arms coming out our waists. Your
awesome cartoon drawing that you submitted yesterday, that was actually the winning entry.
I assume for people watching that might be up in the video at this point, maybe?
I could probably do that if I remember to.
Okay.
We could just keep it up the entire time. Actually, we should just make a whole slideshow of just the photos.
Yeah, I could totally do that.
That's a good idea.
I'll put his up first, and then I'll do a slideshow after that of the rest of them, where it'll play like, one every so many minutes because I don't want to keep repeating it.
So go check out the video, everyone, if
Yeah.
you're listening by normal podcast.
Yeah, check out the video to see all the drawings that we had submitted. There was a good, I don't know, 12, 14 or so that were submitted, something like that.
You know how many more than that I was expecting?
How many?
That was 12 more than I was expecting.
That's me too. I expected maybe one for the entire week, and we got so many more than that, and some pretty good ones too.
I admit I was kind of hoping we'd get one like if you all watch the Game Over Greggy show, the picture they have of him. Oh God. Everyone on the cast, and they have it in the background. It's like the biblical, like really like super realistic picture.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. I was hoping that like we'd get something like that, or a Panda Musk drawing or something. Like that would have been really cool. Not downplaying what we did get. We did get some really good ones and some really funny ones.
Can we say our favorites?
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. What's yours?
My favorite has to be the one that is currently my Facebook photo. I colorized it and everything. It's one of me being a Nintendo ninja in a sort of Sub-Zero-esque outfit with a Luigi hat on and fireballs coming out.
Yeah, it looks like you're doing a Hadoken.
Yeah.
Hadoken. It's like, oh man. Honestly, I'd probably have to say that's my favorite one too, because it's got me dressed up like Nathan Drake, and so that's cool. I don't know. There's
fantasies.
What?
Fulfilling some fantasies there.
Hell yeah. Miles, did you have a favorite?
I don't pick favorites.
You don't pick.
It's the Mr. Potato Head one.
My favorite one of Miles is the one of the carton of milk that says "I'm furious."
Oh, that was really clever.
I like that
clever.
one.
I'll give them that. I'll give them most cleverest.
That one is a good one. There's some more ones, and there's a bunch of stylized ones. I like the one where Lou is a me, a little Nintendo me or whatever.
Oh yeah, I thought that was the theme. I wasn't sure though. But yeah. So how about this is gonna be a really long podcast. I could already tell.
Yeah, let's get moving. So, anyways, Ryan, email us. Let us know which game you wanted, your address, the T-shirt size, and all that stuff. And for anybody who didn't win, thank you all for entering. And we will try to have giveaways about once a month. So expect another one coming up here within the next 3-4 weeks. And keep on tuning in.
Yeah, and thank you. I mean, we got a ton of subscribers. We got 60 subscribers to YouTube, over 100 Facebook likes, and that's big for us.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So let's move on to the news.
Yeah.
Yay.
News. Start us off, Miles.
I will. All right. Evolve has officially been delayed until 2015. They're thinking February, but, it's sad regardless.
It is February.
Okay, it is February. So at least it's close. Take-Two Interactive recently announced it, and it was originally supposed to be coming out on October 21st, which, was closer than February, clearly. 2K said in a statement, as stated on the Take-Two Interactive earnings, 2K and Turtle Rock Studios are extending the development of Evolve by a few months to allow enough time to fully realize the vision for Evolve and meet our collective standards of creative excellence. We are encouraged by the press reaction and fan excitement coming out of a very successful E3, and we are now certain we are headed in the right direction with the game, and we are confident delivering a genre-defining product when Evolve launches on February 10th, 2015.
Evolve looks so good that I'm happy that they're delaying it. I'm not happy that it's going to February. February is going to be a hell of a month now, but delaying it is a good idea in my opinion. I've said all along that there were a few games that I thought were going to get delayed. One of them being Dragon Age, one of them being Middle Earth, and then the other one being Evolve. And the reason for Evolve, I had people asking me on Twitter when I said this, the reason why I thought Evolve would be delayed was because it was forward-thinking in its play style, and then it's also a new IP, and you don't want to put out a new IP in an already busy month. That's asking for bad things to happen, And so it's smart for them to delay it, make sure everything's right, and make sure that they can make more money out of it, but then delaying it to February
bad idea.
But again, they're releasing it ahead of the other games, so that could be a good idea.
Yeah, and it's not like the other games, but I just would have liked to see it in January.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
So for those of us who don't keep up with release dates, what's the major stuff coming out in February that you're worrying about?
The Witcher 3.
Uh-huh.
The Order 1886.
Uh-huh.
And then what else?
Batman Arkham Knight.
Yeah, Batman Arkham Knight. That was the other one.
Let's see if there's anything else. Dying Light.
Dying Light.
I'm still
That's
just
all
buying
we
one
have so
game.
far.
I'm buying all of them.
I'm not.
So all of those games were ones that I was really excited about.
The reason I'm really upset about this is because The Last of Us Remastered just came out.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this huge thing among our fans and Courtney and whatnot about playing The Last of Us Remastered online, playing the factions mode. And I don't have a multiplayer game to play with people. And I was hoping this was going to be it.
So while we're all over there playing The Last of Us, you're like, I want to join.
Why can't people play Mario Kart?
Destiny comes out next month.
Yeah, a month and 4 days.
But that's limited by people. I mean, that can only be 3 people.
Yeah, but The Last of Us is only 4. And that's same with Evolve.
So what I'm saying...
Play online.
By the way, if you're a big fan of us and you want to join in on these multiplayer, just let Courtney or I know. We'll let you join into the Arctic Monkeys. Shout out to you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome group of our fans that love playing online with us. Yeah, that's we'd love to add more people to be able to play with. It's fun times. Move on?
Yeah. Next story is that the August PlayStation Plus Instant Game Collections have been announced. PlayStation 4 owners will receive Road Not Taken and Fez. Fez is a puzzle game that has you jumping a pixelated 2D levels in a 3D world. Road Not Taken is a strategy-type game where you maneuver through the levels as efficiently as possible with, on a limited amount of stamina while saving lost children. I played Fez. Fez is fantastic. That's Phil Fish's baby, right?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
I never got to play it, so I'm not really familiar with the game.
Yeah, it's very old school. Like, it's one where you should sit there with a notepad and pen, and you have to write down codes and play with headsets. But anyway, PlayStation 3 members will be getting Crysis 3 and Proteus. Crysis 3, of course, was the first-person shooter with stealth combat and multiplayer, and Proteus is an exploration game where you explore an island that is also creating itself as you play. PlayStation Vita owners, you will be getting Metrico, which was just released today, and Dragon's Crown. Dragon's Crown is an action RPG with beautiful graphics and great multiplayer, and Metrico is, of course, the puzzle platformer based off of infographics. And we'll talk about that a bit later.
Out of all of those games, the only one I've actually played is Crysis 3, and that's actually the only one I'm interested in, too. So
Same here.
This is a down month for me on PlayStation
I've heard
Plus.
Dragon's Crown is really good.
I have two, but I'm just not into those style of games.
In its defense, Dragon's Crown is fun, but I tried playing it on the Vita, and I was not enjoying it just because the screen was way too small for what was happening.
Yeah, I heard it chugs a little bit on Vita, too, because there's a lot of stuff going on, even though it's stylized art.
I would give Fez a try just because it's, even though I'm sick of indie games, and we've been talking about this, and I just signed up for a couple more through the summer, Fez is an indie game done so well. And as much as I'm not really into Phil Fish's personality and his stance on a lot of things in video game culture, this is a really great indie game. So just give it a shot. Even if it's only to play it for, like, the first 30 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to download them all, but am I going to play them all extensively? Probably not. But, yeah.
Okay,
so
moving on.
Today, finally, after months and months and months of speculation, Assassin's Creed Rogue has finally been announced. This is actually the game that we formerly knew as Assassin's Creed Comet. Today on Game Informer, they revealed that their September cover will be Assassin's Creed Rogue, and that the issue itself will reveal a bunch of information. It's going to be released on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, unlike Unity, which is going to be on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. And you will play as Shay Patrick Cormac, an assassin turned Templar who is now hunting down the assassins who have betrayed him. The game will take place in the North Atlantic, and New York City will be the main hub of the world, and it will release on November 11th, which is 2 weeks after the November 28th release date for Assassin's Creed Unity. There was a trailer that revealed all this that went up today, and it's Shay basically talking about how he's been betrayed. He was an assassin, now he's a Templar. He's going to hunt him down, and it's like snowing the entire time. The way I've read it, the way I understand is it's going to be like a snowy, icy place, and that's where you're gonna sail around or whatever. But it's going to be a lot like Black Flag in its sailing and stuff.
You getting it?
Yeah, of course. Assassin's Creed, of course. Yeah, I'm getting it.
I kind of wish they didn't give away that whole you join the Templars. I think that would have made for a great reveal, after an hour playing the game.
Yeah, I mean, that I understand what you mean by that. That would be a good one, but at the same time, I feel like they made a smart move by revealing it because there are so many people that are burnt out on the series that announcing that it's a Templar game instead of an Assassin game may bring some people back in. You know?
Mm-hmm. Right. Hopefully.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's pretty big news. There's certainly more people who still own a PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 than an Xbox One and PS4. So it's gonna sell. And it's gonna sell a lot. Now,
do you think they did the right thing with the timing, though? With doing it a week later?
2 weeks later.
That's still really, really close, in my opinion.
Me too. But then at the same time, they don't want to release it on the same day as Far Cry 4 a week later because they're the same publisher, same developer.
Is it the same developer?
It's Ubisoft. Assassin's Creed and Far Cry.
Right, but they have different studios, right?
Yeah, studios, but still, their publisher is Ubisoft, and they're not going to release multiple of them on the same day. They're not like Bandai Namco and feel like the same kind of games won't compete with each other on the same damn day. What the hell are you doing, Bandai Namco? 2 weeks from now, I have 2 games on the same day? What? Anyways, not on our list, but breaking news. Apparently, Shovel Knight sold 180,000 copies in 1 month.
Nice.
Awesome.
That's really good news.
Yacht Club.
Yeah, that's really good news.
Friends of the show.
Yes. We might start the episode. You'll probably have already heard the beginning from Yacht Club at the whatever.
Is it always Yacht Club?
No, I've been switching it up.
Oh, okay.
But we're going back to Yacht Club for this one, clearly.
Have to.
But that's great for them. I think that it's hard to break into the indie market, especially for 3DS and Wii U, because there's not a lot of promotion back there.
Mm-hmm.
So, congrats, and hopefully it expands more when you go multi-platform, even though it kind of is, but multi-home console platform.
For sure. Next on the list is a remake for the original Resident Evil is apparently coming out in early 2015. This will be an HD remastering of the GameCube version, which is a remake of the original Resident Evil, which was released in 1996 on the first PlayStation. The remake was made in, I believe, 2002 or 2003, something like that, for the GameCube. So this will be a 1080p remastering of it. You will be able to choose between 4:3 or 16:9 ratios. And you can also choose between using the classic controls or a new control scheme that will make the game a little bit easier to control because of the fixed camera. If anybody played the game back in the day, you will remember how horrible the controls were, which just made the game that much scarier because you couldn't control your character, so you could die so much easier, and so it made the zombies horrifying. And oh god, I can't even. I hated that. I scared the shit out of me as a little kid.
This is like crazy meta. They're making a remake of a remake. What?
Yeah, I don't know. Are you guys interested in the Resident Evil series at all?
Nope.
No.
I am in the original game.
Okay.
So I do like this. I think that the GameCube version was the best way to play the original game.
Yeah.
With all the remaster stuff they did. So just like same thing for Metal Gear Solid, the original one.
Uh-huh.
They made Twin Snakes on the GameCube, and that was, I think, the best way to play that. But I don't know if I'll get it. I'm excited to see how it looks?
Okay, so I am a huge Resident Evil fan. I feel like it's gone away from its roots, recently. Obviously, most people feel that way. But I definitely will be buying this, or I will be renting it or playing it in some fashion, I can't see it being any more than a $40 game, though. Remastering a 10-year-old game, 10-plus-year-old game, I don't feel like Capcom would shoot themselves in the foot and make it a $60 game.
Right.
I feel like it shouldn't even be 40.
Yeah, I agree, but it's hard to argue a game down under 40 when it's releasing on next-gen consoles. It's going to be on every console from my understanding. Let me look real quick and see. It'll be on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360. So it's going to be out on everything other than Wii U, and 3DS.
Poor Wii.
And Vita, I guess. But so yeah, I can't see it being any less than 40 or any more than that. So
yeah.
Moving on. Is that
Oh, yeah.
still a thing?
I don't know. That and Amazon Fire TV
Yeah.
or whatever it was.
I'm sure someone is still playing both of those and just those haters.
We had Fez first, or whatever. I don't remember. What was the big
Towerfall.
Towerfall, yeah, that was it. We had Towerfall first.
And then it came to legitimate consoles.
And it still sucked. Oh.
Hey, Towerfall's
Whoa.
Moving on.
Okay. I don't know how to pronounce this last name either.
I will play this game.
Adelman?
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Dan Adelman left Nintendo. This is really big news. For those who don't know who Dan Adelman is, he was the guy who you would tweet at. He was kind of in charge of the whole indie market for Nintendo.
Ooh.
And he was put in charge of that originally before indies were a big thing. And he was known to be really, really, really transparent. He would not actually transparent. You couldn't see through him, but Nintendo's normally very closed off, and you could always text at him if you were in an indie studio, and he'd respond back. And he was doing his best to bring indies to the forefront. He eventually got banned from Twitter by Nintendo because he was being too personal and giving away some information that they didn't want him to give away. And his response eventually this week was, happy to announce I reached an arrangement with Nintendo America whereby I can tweet again. Arrangement includes me not working there anymore. And he went on this whole big PR announcement thing where he's been answering questions, and he says that he's very against a lot of Nintendo's policies. For instance, the name Wii U, he thinks that was a horrible, horrible thing. However, the Wii U is fantastic. He still admits that. He didn't like a lot of the restrictions Nintendo would place on him, or Nintendo would place on other just policies. For instance, against religious content. That was the reason why Binding of Isaac never came to 3DS, but may possibly still come. Hopefully, and also their region locking. However, Adelman did note that this wasn't, of course, a violent split from Nintendo. They were very encouraging, and they helped him out with all this, and how even though he has his critical views in Nintendo, like everyone does, he still loves them in some regard.
Gonna be honest, and I didn't know anything about any of this.
It was a big story. We got a press release.
Yeah, I remember that, but I didn't know about any of this.
He's starting his own indie studio, I believe, now.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
that's
hearing
cool.
about that. That is really cool.
And he thinks that this whole split is a great thing. He said that his mission wasn't to work with Nintendo forever. It was to bring indies to the forefront. And that is something that he really has accomplished almost single-handedly. He was kind of the first person banging the indie drum, and now everything's indie.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of, if you want to be on a major home console platform, half of what you have to think about is where are the indies going to be, because that's where half the games are now.
Yep, you're right.
He seems like a cool dude, so I'm happy he's doing something and not just gonna be, off not doing anything, I guess.
Yeah, I'm emailing him. I've sent him an email, and I've been asking. Maybe we're going to see if we could get him on the podcast, because I think he has some really interesting insight. And apparently he isn't hindered by any NDA agreement, seeing what he's been saying about Nintendo.
There's an NDA on a person specifically.
Well, a lot of times you can't leave and talk about policies, or you can't badmouth the company.
I gotcha.
And that's probably what happened with Amy Hennig, to be honest.
Yeah.
True.
But apparently that is not the case with Dan Adelman.
I just like his
That is
tweet.
his real name.
I like his tweet. The arrangement includes my not working there anymore. That's the best. Okay, so other news: a white Xbox One bundle with Sunset Overdrive has officially been announced. It was leaked apparently earlier this week, but a Microsoft spokesperson told Polygon that a Kinect-free white version of the console will be sold with Sunset Overdrive for $399. Which is the current retail price for an Xbox One without any extra titles attached. There's no release date, but Sunset Overdrive does come out on October 28th, so somewhere in that area is most likely when it will come out. I would assume it'll be that week, but there's no guarantee on it yet. There's no official word.
It would be really weird if it didn't come out on that week or on October 28th, because it's like, hey, we're bundling it, but if you want this, you have to wait.
Yeah, exactly. Almost everybody who's going to buy Sunset Overdrive is going to have it pre-ordered or picked up day 1 or day 2. And so why release it any later than that? Because this is supposed to be a system seller. You don't sell systems if you release it later than the game that's coming out with it, or the game that's coming out that everyone's excited for.
True.
They better announce it soon.
But yeah, this is the one I want. I haven't pre-ordered. I haven't got an Xbox One yet. I haven't got Sunset Overdrive pre-ordered or anything like that. So whenever this is announced, this is the one I want.
Yeah, that's exactly how I'm thinking about it.
That's a free game and a white Xbox.
Yeah, it's just I know I'm getting one. It's finally time where my loans are coming in. And I'm not implying that I'm spending my law school loan money on video game consoles. I'm telling you that's what I'm spending my loan money on.
That's like me too.
So, I really want to pick one up, and I would love to get the white one. I have a lot of black consoles now, and I think it's time to finally throw in some diversity, because for a while only what I owned were white consoles, and then I finally made the shift after I had the Wii. And yeah, I would really love this, though it is not as cool as the one that was in San Diego Comic-Con.
Which is a shame, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. I'm right there with you though, Lou. I used to have all white consoles, and recently I have all black consoles now. I have a black Wii U, PS4, and PS3, and I had a black 360 before I sold it. And it's just like, I like the uniformity of it all, but at the same time, I love different. I love differences, and I love things looking different. And to have a nice, slick, white Xbox One next to all that would look really cool.
Right. Though it upsets me, and I know it's not going to upset you, I don't think, that it's not coming with a Kinect. Actually, it might upset you.
I don't care. I don't care at all.
But you love
streaming. Yeah, that's it. But I mean, I'm sure that I could get you could probably get a Kinect or whatever at that time. You could probably buy one for cheap online. In fact,
that's true.
Go to Amazon and buy a used one or something. I bet there are thousands of people who don't want their Kinect, who just want to get it off their hands.
Right.
So
there's people at IGN. I'll ask for their Kinects.
Then how do you get a white Kinect?
I don't think there is one. I think
you dip it in paint.
I think it was my understanding that there would not be a changing color on a Kinect. I think that's what I heard.
That breaks up the uniformity then. It's no longer a white console if part of it isn't white.
No, that's fine. It's on top of my black TV.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be away. It's not going to be on it. But, so that's interesting. Nothing really else to say about it. I do like the fact that you get Sunset Overdrive for free with it. That's really cool.
Titanfall bundle was going to be my bundle, and then I just delayed it until I didn't want it.
It was going to be my bundle, too, until I realized I didn't have the money for it, so...
Ain't that how it goes?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so moving on. This is a small financial report. Q1/Q2 just ended, quarter 1 and quarter 2 of the fiscal year, depending on where you are. And we have some results. I don't have everyone's. Well, I'm going to try and make this more uniform. But Activision Blizzard reported a $301 operating gain for their income. So they're up $301 million. Take-Two is up $104 million. And Nintendo, my sweetheart, is down $91 million. They had an operating loss. And I wrote an article about it this week where they... I think it doesn't necessarily spell doom and gloom. At the moment, they're on track to hit their Wii U goal for their fiscal year. They sold a ton of Wii U's with the Mario Kart 8. I think it's really interesting, actually, that they have a $91 million loss, seeing how they only came out with one game, and they spent a ton of money on advertising and also a ton of money for sponsorships for EVO, which took place this quarter, and for E3, which took place this quarter.
Let's face it, if Sega is taking all these hits and they're a smaller company and they're still going, Nintendo's going to be fine.
That's true. When you look at Sega, see what they're still doing, and then the fact that they are still doing, that's ridiculous.
Like,
right.
Nintendo has a chipped tooth. Sega is like hemorrhaging and is bloodied and broken and is like, I'ma still fight you.
Right. And also, Q1 is notoriously just bad for them. What we've just went through, which is what's the time span from this? April to June, I think.
Yeah, 1st of April to the end of June.
Yeah, you got to think of what games normally come out. The big titles are normally towards the winter and the holiday seasons. And
it's typically a bad quarter for everybody.
Right, it's great for gaming news, awful for the games themselves, and even when the Wii was out, they had minimal profits or normally losses. And the Wii was making tons of money for them. They were, being showered in money.
For sure.
They were printing money with the Wiis.
Out of their butts.
So, yeah, just a quick financial forecast. If you're wanting to invest, now's a good time to do it.
All right, moving on.
Woo.
We'll talk about bad investments. Sorry. Go on.
What?
No, that was a good transition to the next one.
Okay. All right. Anyway, BioShock 1 is coming to iOS devices. Someone out there is excited about this. 2K Games.
Maybe two people.
I guess. 2K Games announced that they will be transporting the world of BioShock to the Apple iOS devices later this summer. Since the Apple Apple devices do not have inherent controllers, the gameplay interfaces are now being bound and hindered. In addition, the graphics will be altered so that they can be optimized on these devices compared to a more powerful hardware. So far, this sounds awful to me, but let's continue. IGN was able to get a preview build and offered a tidbit of gameplay. The frame rate appears to clock somewhere below 30 FPS, and that's pretty noticeable, and is slower than the console versions, of course, but movement doesn't feel chuggy. I don't know how those two are able to fit in the same game, but who knows. To compensate for the controlling abilities, 2K confirmed that there will be various minor modifications to aid with aiming so that the gameplay can balance itself out.
And it's worth noting that although there are no controllers specifically for the iOS devices made for a uniform or universal controller, it is controller ready. You can use a controller on this, so you don't have to play it touchscreen or anything like that. You can plug a controller into your phone or your iPad and stuff like that.
Which is good, because I feel like this game would be awful with having to play with a touchscreen.
This game will be awful to begin with.
Yeah, that's bad investment. That was the joke. I was making a joke about Nintendo being bad, and then also BioShock on iOS being bad. That was the joke.
I thought you were saying BioShock itself was bad, and I was like,
no,
that was actually pretty good.
A bad investment is putting BioShock on iOS devices. Obviously, it's probably a good investment, because a shitload of people have iOS devices. There are going to be people who will buy this simply because it's BioShock and they want a game on their phone or their iPad, which they carry with them everywhere. which is the argument against putting it on Vita. Everyone's like, whoa, why doesn't this come to Vita? Well, there's not a lot of people with a Vita. There are tenfold that amount of people with iOS devices. You know, it makes way more sense.
I would
don't
probably
know.
shoot a little bit higher than tenfold, to be
Yeah,
honest.
well, okay, yeah, but still, there are almost 10 million people with a Vita. That's saying 100 million. That was the point.
I do not like this idea.
I don't either.
I think that it's going to water down the BioShock franchise. I think it's going to... it'd be one thing if everyone who picks this game up is a gamer, but I think a lot of people are going to say, oh, I've heard of BioShock. I saw those commercials on TV a year ago. I really want to pick this game up. And their first experience with BioShock is going to be this port, this awful piece of trash. And hopefully 2K does beautiful things with it and they make it worth playing. But I regard BioShock 1 as a masterpiece and probably my favorite game ever and deserves to be played on a giant screen with a controller.
I don't know, any game that is not meant to be on like a tablet or a phone that is put on a tablet or a phone, have there been any of them that were actually good? Beyond like the really basic older stuff like Super Mario and stuff like that.
I don't know. I mean,
Super Mario hasn't been on.
Well, not legally.
Not
I
legal.
was going to say, because you could argue Pokemon also. Pokemon's great on iPhones, but it wasn't supposed to be there.
Okay, so let's change the question to legally and was like an app.
I don't know.
I remember Deus Ex came out. Was that any good?
No.
I thought that was a specific game for it, though. Like, it was a different
was.
game for iOS.
It was
Oh, you
a
mean
game.
ported down. How about Grand Theft Auto San Andreas? Didn't that supposed to come out?
I have no
Yes,
idea.
it did, and I don't remember how the reviews went because I
I'm gonna
don't
look
pay
it up.
attention to stuff like that.
San
The
Andreas.
point is that the percentage of being good is probably not very high. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not excited about this. I will not be buying it. I don't have an iOS device, so,
Yeah, that's the kicker. I don't have an iPad or an iPhone because
and if I did, I wouldn't get it. So
Apparently, GTA on the iOS devices got an 84
really,
on Metacritic. So there's people who think it's 100, and people who think it's awful.
really,
Yeah.
well, that's more than I expected. So
Me
that's
too.
saying something.
me too. Okay, so let's move on.
All right, No Man's Sky is no longer a PlayStation 4 exclusive. Don't worry, it's still going to be on PlayStation 4, but it's also coming to PC now.
Yep.
Yeah, and it was featured in this month's Edge magazine. I didn't even know that was still going, to be completely honest. That No Man's Sky, like I said, will be coming to PC, but it will be coming to the PS4 first. So it's like it's a timed exclusive, essentially. Sean Murray, who is No Man's Sky's like spokesperson pretty much, he's the guy that you always see talking about it. He said, he's also the managing director, just in case you want his actual title. He's also said, I actually got in a bit of trouble for saying that we wanted the game to feel really console-y. We've always had PC in mind, but in my head, console-y means solid frame rate and immediate controls. I think a PC game can be console-y, and it's intended as a compliment, but I got in trouble for saying it.
Honestly, No Man's Sky never felt like a console game to me. It always looked like a PC game. I know that doesn't mean that I wasn't excited. I've always been excited that it was coming to PlayStation 4, but it looks like a PC game. You know, infinite exploration in sky or in space or whatever. That just sounds like Spore or something. You know.
That's the only thing that worries me about the game, to be completely honest. Like infinite, differently generated planets for everyone. I'm like, ooh, okay, Hello Games, how are you gonna pull this off?
Yeah,
but,
with a small team.
Yeah, I hope they manage it because I'm really excited for it. But it is kind of like I have to be wary with this one.
I really, really hope it does feel console-y, though, because there are some games I can't get into because of how they feel. For instance, DC Universe Online, I really tried and I couldn't get into it. Also, Don't Starve. Like, that very much feels like a computer game, and it's a good game. I'm just not good with that and good with the controls for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I prefer to play a computer game that feels like a console game than vice versa.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, but that's it's hard to do that. You know, that's what this generation is all about is combining computer games with console games. And Don't Starve is a good example. And DC Universe Online is a good example. They're set up like MMOs with the or just a computer game with the number thing and the number pad or whatever. that you press them, the bar or whatever. And the same thing as Final Fantasy 14, except for I would argue that they really implemented that like well. With you pull up L2 and R2, that'll pull up the different number pad things where you can enter to click which button you want to do. Use the directional pad for the left hand and the face buttons for the right hand, and those will all do different moves and stuff. Like they really implemented that well.
Right. I'm not saying they didn't do it well. I'm just saying that I don't like it.
Yeah.
Like for instance, the Swapper. The Swapper was a Steam PC game first, and that got ported over to PlayStation. It came out today, and I just loved it.
Yeah,
like,
but that's the console. Yeah, you're right about the console though. That is more console because it's just a game compared to like a game where you have to do these different button combinations and button presses.
I feel like that term is really weird.
It
just
is.
Saying console-y.
It's
like,
real weird.
I understand what they mean when they say it though. So.
Yeah.
For sure.
There should just be a different word for it, but yeah, that's neither here nor there.
Okay, so
moving on.
Yeah, sounds like it.
One second, I'm looking at stuff. Okay, BioWare has continued to tease their new project. BioWare and EA released another teaser video this week for their newest project, for which details remain unknown. The trailer was sent out in a mass email to fans. Actually, I don't know if that's true. I think I signed up for a newsletter and forwarded it to us.
no,
Maybe
I got an email on my personal account. It was
okay.
sent out as
Never
read
mind.
as is, dick.
Never mind then. I know that I forwarded it to our own stuff, but I
Yeah.
also signed up for specific updates. It says, do you know they are watching? Your power is rising, Cologne, Germany. You've been chosen. 8/13/14. God, that was awful. Anyway, this email is undoubtedly referring to some sort of reveal at Gamescom.
Man, you said, "Do you know?" and I just thought Muffin Man.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
Or watching.
The Muffin Man? The Muffin Man! Oh, Shrek. So yeah, have you guys seen the two teaser trailers so far?
I saw the first one, and the only interesting thing was the dude with smoke for a head, and I was like, other than that, I don't know what this is about, and I don't care.
This one was fucking weird too. It was a guy like in a fucking some sort of a shop store thing, food place, and like he freaks out while he's doing like homework or something. Like I don't remember. I watched it last week and I read the story.
He's doing homework in a food place?
Something like that. I don't know. Do you not do that when you were in school?
No.
I've
I
gone
went
to like
home.
coffee shops and pizza shops and stuff like that and did homework there.
No,
But
I didn't
yeah.
do homework. That's the truth.
Well, there's that. But yeah, this dude, he like fucking freaks out and like blows up with electricity and shit. And then like zooms out and there's this guy watching him from outside through the window. And it was just like really short. And I was like, wow, what the fuck was that?
Okay, see, that seems a lot more interesting than the one that I saw, the first one. Because the first one was like way too cryptic, and I'm like, this just seems like a horror game, and I don't really care for horror games.
Yeah.
That reminds me a lot of Infamous, which is like, okay, now I'm actually getting a little bit interested because I really enjoy superpower games.
Yeah, see, that's
Superhero.
exactly what it feels like. It feels like that there are just different people with different powers, and these people are being rounded up for something.
What does Smoke Face have? Literally just my head is smoke?
I don't know. He could be a bad guy.
I mean, he looks like a bad guy. Black smoke.
Maybe he's
piling
just
out
a
of his
smoker.
neck.
Maybe he is a smoker.
Heavily.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they should really have that. Like at one point in the game, he just has a cigarette and puts it into the smoke, and you see it, pulling, and then he pulls it out, and it's like smoke comes out of the smoke.
Oh man, I don't know whether or not to laugh at that. Actually. Okay.
I'm pretty sure they can't do that. Maybe
It's
there's some
not-
sort of there has to be a law about that, about smoking cigarettes.
I mean,
Oh,
you could
really?
smoke in
In
games. You could
Can
smoke in
you?
games. Yeah. 'cause
Yeah.
Fucking the dude in
Starcraft.
Murdered Soul Suspect just this year. He smoked the entire game basically.
He was smoking candy cigarette though.
That lit up red at the end and puffed a little.
It was one of those fancy
it's
ones.
an e-cig. Fine. All right, Mr. Smokeface will have an e-cig. There you go.
Okay,
For
next.
show.
It's a
Moving
baby.
on.
Next, I love how you titled this gay station story.
I didn't do it.
I
Oh,
did. That was me.
Man, Lou. All right. So, for anyone who's wondering what I just said, there was recently a released gay station, as they called it, and it was released by a Swedish company whose name is something Webhalen. There we go. Webhalen. And it was released to support the LGBT community, and it was sold for 28. Yeah, a lot of money. It was sold for 28,300 Swedish kroner. I don't know how to pronounce that, which roughly translates to 4,118 USD American dollars. So that's
dollar bill, y'all.
Dollar bill, y'all. And it was sold to support the RSFL charity, which is big in the LGBT community, which is pretty common sense. And it was pretty sweet looking, if you ask me. It was a rainbow, which is, the normal LGBT flag.
Wait.
Whoa, wait.
Whoa.
What am I waiting on?
You don't like the all-white consoles, but you like the rainbow-colored one.
At
Dude,
least
the rainbow one
tried.
was sweet.
No, I agree.
Also, it was
totally
sweet.
sweet. I agree.
What is this? What is this?
I'm just like, wait, you don't like an off-colored one, a white one, but you'll like the one that's rainbowed.
That's because they tried. Also, it has a pixel heart on it, which also makes it better than white. Just plain white. Anyway, if you want it, because I wanted it, I'll be honest, not for $4,000, but I wanted it, you may be out of luck because there's no information on if they will be doing this again, and it seems like one of those things that will not be done again. So, it is kind of awesome, though.
You could just copy it and make decals.
I could, but that is effort that I'm not going to put into that.
I will guarantee you it will cost less than $4,000.
Oh, most definitely. I would go out and get some duct tape.
I have a duct tape colored console.
I mean, yeah.
Whatever you got to do.
Whatever. Yeah, but I mean, this is good in my opinion. I like consoles that are alternative. What do they call it? Alternative skinned consoles that are actually alternative skins and not just, oh, hey, instead of black, you have white now.
You're talking like the Titanfall console or whatever.
That looks awesome. I don't care to have it, but if someone's going to be like, hey, this is a different console skin that you get because it comes with this game, I'm like, yes, that's cool. But, it's like, hey, we have Sunset Overdrive, which is completely about customization and crazy, vivid stuff, and I would have been happier had they put the what's the drink in the game? Does anyone remember?
Oh,
nope.
Fuck. Surge.
I want to play the game. I haven't looked at it.
Over something? It's not Overdrive. It's over something, I think. Over Surge or
over your mom.
Sunset Overdrive drink. Let's look it up. It is Overcharge.
Overcharge. I would have been way happier had they put Overcharge on the console or made it Overcharge themed. That would have been awesome. But no, it's just white.
But then they could overcharge for it.
No. He made it funny.
All right. How about we move on?
Moving on. Okay, so is The Last of Us 2 going to take place in Europe? We don't know, but it could. One of the artists at Naughty Dog posted some images for a post-apocalyptic Europe. These images contain pictures of London, Rome, and Paris, as well as many others. Naughty Dog has yet to confirm that they are actually working on a sequel to The Last of Us, but they had admitted that they are exploring the option. Naughty Dog is currently working on Uncharted 4 and has another team working on something, but there's no confirmed projects. And so it could happen. I think if I remember correctly, when The Last of Us was originally teased, they did the same thing. Did they not?
I don't remember.
I wasn't paying attention then.
3 or 4 years ago now, I believe they did the same thing. Not with Europe, obviously, but with over here. I may be wrong, but for some reason that sounds right. So yeah, if you think history repeats itself, then this is definitely happening, and we'll see a release probably 3 to 4 years in the future, with it taking place in Europe. I've said all along that if The Last of Us is going to get a sequel, I don't want it to be Joel and Ellie, and I want it to be some completely different story set somewhere else, and just have it during, any time during this timeline, because The Last of Us takes place 20 years in the future. So you could have a story with 2 other completely different characters, or 3 or 4, anywhere within that last 20 years or anywhere in the future. There are a million stories you can tell in this universe, and so they don't have to stick with the same people in the same area. However, after playing The Last of Us several times recently, I feel like making a sequel will probably tarnish the series itself, or the game itself. I don't know. I'm really split on whether or not to do a sequel.
You know which idea I like?
What?
I think we got tweeted the idea, but it was it should pick up right from when the guard or the police or whatever SWAT member, spoilers.
Okay.
Pause. right when he shoots Joel's daughter, it should just pick up from there, but have that guard story through like the whole actual infestation station.
But what do you mean? He gets killed right there.
Wait, does he get killed right there?
Yeah. Tommy kills his ass.
Oh, he does. You're right.
Tommy
he doesn't
shoots him in
have
the side
to
of the
die.
head.
He doesn't have to die.
He doesn't have to die. We'll make this an alternate universe story also.
I mean, spoilers is actually going to be a comedy platformer where you play as a clicker and his little dog clicker friend named Clicks McKinsey. There we go.
All right, anyway.
So yeah, but go look at the pictures. We have a story up with them. They're freaking gorgeous. What?
Do you see the virus, or is it just post-apocalyptic?
There's like a picture of a scene in Europe, and then there's a picture next to it of what it would look like in the future after the apocalypse. And so it's like the shit growing everywhere, everything's destroyed, buildings are blown up, things are on fire. It's really, really cool because there's comparison pictures before and after, and there's like pictures of towers and castles and beautiful old buildings and stuff, and then what they look like after the apocalypse happens.
Right.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, my question was I wasn't sure whether or not these were apocalyptic pictures without the fungus or with the fungus, because that might suggest a completely different game.
Yeah, it could, yeah. Moving on?
Moving on.
Moving on.
Okay. PlayStation consoles outsold Xbox consoles 3-1 last quarter. According to the report, Sony sold 3.5 million units of PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 combined to consumers during the last 3 months.
Which is April to June.
Right. Even though they didn't release how many each console sold by themselves, that is still more than 3 times the 1.1 million that Microsoft announced Xbox consoles sold during the same time period. One reason the Xbox sales may have been so low is the price drop was announced a month in advance, thus only giving it a month to work with before the quarter was over. So yeah, this wasn't a big surprise to anybody. I don't know.
No, not really.
I mean, 3-1 kind of does seem like, oh my god, that's a lot. But you knew that PlayStation was going to outsell Xbox during that quarter. There was no way that in a month they could outsell them. And it wasn't even a month. It didn't come out until like June 9th or something like that. So it was like 3/4 of a month they had to work with for the dropped price, and that takes into account that the fact that we knew about the drop price a month in advance, so everybody was going to stop buying their Xboxes and wait until the new price drop happened. So
Right.
It's not surprising. It'll be interesting to see what happens going forward, though. Now that both consoles are at $400, both don't have to have the camera. Both have a lot of titles coming up over the horizon. It's just I wonder if they're going to even out during this quarter and the next quarter, and see what happens then.
I think that if I'm being honest, I think Microsoft has the stronger season until next year.
Oh yeah, everybody's saying that. That's for sure. They actually have exclusive titles coming out, or not. Okay, I take that back. They have AAA exclusive titles. PlayStation 4 has a lot of exclusive titles coming out, but they're not AAA exclusive. They're indie game exclusive and stuff like that. So I do agree that Xbox is going to have stronger titles, but does that mean that they're going to actually overtake PlayStation? Does that mean anything? Because Titanfall did not have that effect at all, and that was supposed to be it. All we heard about for a year was Titanfall. That's it. And if that couldn't do it, will this be able to? It remains to be seen. We'll have to wait and find out. If anything, I think they're just going to tie. PlayStation has been outselling Xbox by a large amount every month over month over month. Now, I think that this is just going to boost the Xbox up to finally sell as much as PlayStation. I think PlayStation has risen in popularity so much that you're not going to see it drop off. It's not just going to all of a sudden die.
Right. Also, if we're including 3DS into the equation, then PlayStation has also outsold Nintendo 3-1. Mm-hmm. If we're not including 3DS into the equation, they have outsold the Wii U 7-1.
Holy shit.
Yeah, they only sold 500,000, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, that's nasty.
But that was still a good month, wasn't it?
That's still good for them.
Yeah, I was going to say that was up because of Mario Kart. That had a huge increase.
Right. That was all basically sold on the back of Mario Kart, which was... Sorry, Mario Kart. That was sold completely on the back of Mario Kart because besides that and Pushmo World and Shovel Knight, those were really the only games to come out for the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens when Smash Bros. Rolls around.
And final thing on news is that the Crytek UK situation is starting to come under control. More reports from Kotaku. They've been all over it. Last week they announced they revealed that Deep Silver acquired the Homefront IP, and then in the same statement, Crytek said that they've been in extensive discussions with the leading producer and distributor of digital entertainment products, Cook Media, regarding the acquisition of the rights of the Homefront IP. On completion of the proposed acquisition, the Homefront team from Crytek's Nottingham studio would transfer their talents to Cook Media in compliance with English law and continue their hard work on the upcoming shooter Homefront: The Revolution. Both parties hope to finalize and implement the deal soon. So it sounds like the entire team that was working on the game is just moving over to Cook Media, and they're going to continue and finalize the game and put it out.
It seems like this situation has been going back and forth every week.
I guess. I mean, basically, since the middle of June, all we've heard is bad until this. So I don't really see how it goes back and forth. This is the first good news we've really heard.
I thought there was some good news when people started getting paid again, but never mind.
Well, yeah, but that was right before it. I think that was the same week. This was just later on in the week saying that they're moving that.
Oh,
but
okay.
I may be wrong. Anyways, so good news. I kind of figured Deep Silver was going to acquire it since they were the publisher. They had signed into a deal with them or whatever, like they had rights to publish it or whatever. And since they had put in money already, they didn't. I assume that they wouldn't want to let go of one of their anticipated products. They would want to release that game. And so it's common sense that they would try to get it and release it since it was so close to release, because I believe it was supposed to be released in February. That was the original plan. So good news.
Indeed.
So Lou, you want to give the listeners a little bit of an insight on this new segment you want to add?
Okay, yeah, we're testing out a new segment. We're not sure if this is going to be permanent yet, but we want to just highlight the reviews of games coming out this week or that just came out or reviews that have just happened. In other words, we're doing a review wrap-up where we're going to just give the name of the game. We're going to say who reviewed it, what we gave it, and maybe any experience we had with it ourselves if we didn't review it. Mm-hmm. And whether we recommend going out and buying it. And if you want to check out the full reviews, of course, you could go on middleofnowheregaming.com and read them for yourselves. We have a brand new organized review section, so it's really easy.
For sure. So,
shout outs to Courtney, who's been doing a lot of work on that. And Lou, I don't know.
No,
all Courtney.
Everyone. Okay, all Courtney. Never mind.
A lot of all-nighters lately. Oh, balls. Okay, so first up on the review wrap-up thingamagoo. Lou, you want to talk about it?
Sure. Hearthstone Curse of Naxxramas. This is an in-progress review that we're going. So if you keep looking week after week, you're going to be finding new articles about it. because it is something that's being released week by week. But from Audrey was the one who wrote about it, and she really liked it. She thought it was very polished, and I agree. I've spent some time with it, and it adds some much-needed challenge to the single-player campaigns. And I'm very happy they went along with this, and hopefully we see more from it.
For sure. Okay, yeah, so it's review in progress, so we don't have any scores for it, right?
Right, and it's on PC and Mac and iPads, so go ahead and download it.
Cool.
All right. Next up was the Lego Ninjago Nindroids review. That was handled by Harry. I'm going to play this game again where I try and pronounce his name because his is actually pretty out there. Loisides?
I don't know.
Loisitis?
That's why I tried not to do last names.
So let's just stick with the first names.
Oh, okay. Well, I was doing this. I'm enjoying it. But anyway, that came out on the 3DS and the Vita, and he gave it a 7.6 out of 10, which I believe for our review scale is a okay.
Good.
Yeah, okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Go try it.
It's good. Sorry.
I guess if you like Legos and ninjas and Nindroids and stuff like that and spinny things, go try that out.
For sure.
Okay. Next on the list is Metrico. This review went up today because the game was released today. Metrico, of course, has been getting a lot of great press recently because it's got a really interesting art style. It's based on the infographic kind of phase that the internet's going through at times.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to review it. I gave it a 6.9.
6.9.
Yeah, that is on the top half of okay. If you're listening to this, you probably have PlayStation Plus, and it's free for people with PlayStation Plus. So download it, play it. It's great from the first 2 levels, and then from that point on, it gets kind of murky. I wouldn't recommend playing too far after that. Plus, the trophies are all hidden. That's awful. Yeah, don't you hate when they do that?
That's dirty.
I don't know what to do for these trophies, and I don't care too much to know what to do. So yeah, next, go Courtney.
Oh, okay. Next is The Last of Us Remastered, which I reviewed last week. I had it up on release day, so you can go check that out and check out the video review for it. It's on our YouTube. But I gave it a perfect 10 out of 10. The first 10 I've ever given to a game, and it will probably, in all likelihood, be the only 10 I ever give. That's I can't see another game topping it. I mean, I'm not like you, willy-nilly giving out good scores.
I've only given out a 10, and it was to The Last of Us.
I know, but
step back from that.
But what I'm saying, you give a lot of 9s and above.
Hold on. Does the game need to top it, or does it just need to be on a similar playing
field?
No,
it needs to be on a similar playing field, and I can't see any games doing that for me again. The Last of Us changed the way I look at games and the way I look at a perfect game, and I can't see anything doing that. Now, obviously, I could be surprised. There could be a game come out, and I will totally take me by surprise, and I will absolutely think it's a 10.
Uncharted
I'm not saying
4.
that there won't be, but it's so hard to imagine another game being that good for me when I have not played games that were that good for me in the past. It's just a 10 is too high for me to give to games. There's too many things wrong with so many games that I think detracts for them. So
right,
but yeah, so
10 doesn't mean perfect. 10 means
there's obviously problems. Yeah, but a quick thing for it is if you already have it on PS3. Only buy it on PlayStation 4 if you really, really want to play it again and you want to play online again with people who are playing it right now, because it is the same game. It's everything the same, but just with all the DLC, and it looks prettier. So only buy it if you really like the game.
All right, next on the list we have Rogue Legacy, which just came out last week, I believe. It got an 8 out of 10 from Jesse on our team. And he noted through his review that it was hard, and it is really, really hard. From my experience with it, because I've been playing a lot of Metrico this week, but each time I'm done playing Metrico, I go and spend 4 hours playing Rogue Legacy and dying about 80,000 times. It's very lovingly hard, and it's very tailored to the Vita, and it's got that kind of instant replay effect that Resogun had, for instance, where it was like just one more game. I could do one more. So I would recommend it. An 8.0 on our scale is a great game. So I think if you have a Vita, then you owe yourself to buy a game, seeing how you probably have all of your games from PlayStation Plus.
That came out on PS4 as well, right?
That did, on PlayStation 4 and on PlayStation 3. And they're both great on those systems. I think he played it on the PS4, but on the Vita, it's perfect.
All right.
And last but not least, this is a review that came out a week or two ago, and
I
think 2 weeks ago. I'm gonna probably repost it just because it came out today. The Swapper, not too many details. Love the game. Go play it if you have PS4, PS3, PS Vita, preferably on PS4 because it runs the smoothest. Gave it a 9.6, which is amazing. This is the high score thing you were talking about, weren't you, Courtney?
No, I know you've given several above 9s.
That's true, but I've also given the lowest score.
Yeah, but it was just recently, and before that, I had the lowest score, and you only barely undercut me.
God, is this a competition?
It is, because Lou talks about how we review too many games too high.
That's true.
Okay.
We do. But Constant C is an awful game.
What did you give that one?
I gave it a 4.3.
Oh, okay.
It's still not. It's not broken.
4.7.
It's as good in my eyes. That's as good as you could give a game that's not broken.
Exactly.
By nature. It was just a bad game. So anyway, that is the section. If you like the review wrap up, or that we just did a small bit, this was kind of busy week. We had a lot of games coming out, but if you like that, let us know. There's a bunch of you guys who listen, so just write whether you like it or not.
For sure.
Anyway, on to listener questions.
We are. Hold on. Let's see. We're at a minute, or we're at a minute.
One minute.
We're at over an hour now, so let's not spend an hour on these. But first question's from Tunde. He asked, "What are your favorite or your top 5 PlayStation 2 games? You can choose Xbox or GameCube if you did not own a PlayStation 2. Mine are in no particular order." He says that his are Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, Dark Cloud, Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3, Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenal, and Final Fantasy 12. So, for you guys, what are yours?
Can we do top 3?
Yeah, if you only have a few that you...
Oh, no, I have a lot, but not on PS2. I owned a PS2, and I didn't love the system that much. It had every game imaginable. If I'm picking my top 3 games for them, they are all the Jack games.
Nice.
Oh. Well,
no particular order.
All right. Miles?
That is way too far back for me to remember, so I can't answer this.
I actually made a list of my top 10 PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and PlayStation 3 games to prepare for the release of PS4. So mine was number 5 was Star Wars Battlefront. Mm-hmm. Number 4 was Resident Evil 4. Number 3 was Tales of the Abyss. Number 2 was Dark Cloud. And number 1 was Kingdom Hearts, the original.
Right.
So,
if we're going on my favorite in that generation, because I was a GameCube kid, even though I had a PlayStation, it has to go Wind Waker, Metroid Prime, and maybe I'll throw in a little bit of Chibi Robo just to throw in some interesting stuff. Oh, and Super Mario Sunshine.
Nice.
My favorite game on GameCube was Gacha Force. That is all I have to say on that one.
Okay, next question is from Jake. He says, "Mong, so if you're friends with me on Facebook, then it's no secret that I absolutely love the photo mode in The Last of Us Remastered. It's been a lot of fun capturing and sharing different moments from the game. Do you think an in-depth photo mode like the one in The Last of Us should be included in all PS4 games?" And then he signs it and he says, "Pronounced Kyle for his last name. Don't worry about pronouncing it wrong. I put up with it most of my life." Sorry, Jake, we've been pronouncing your last name Keel for forever. Sorry, we didn't know it was Kyle. It kind of makes sense if you look at it. You could kind of see it's Kyle.
Yeah, it should have been Kyle.
But at the same time, it's Kiel. I don't know. But sorry about that.
Is he from Krypton? Kiel.
Kalel. But yeah, I don't know. Capture mode in all PS4 games?
I mean,
That's
it's
good.
kind of getting to the point in that our generation is like, we like to take pictures of everything. Food, cats, monkeys, dogs, poop, whatever. Take pictures.
Take poop. Yeah, I don't know. I think you could. Obviously, that would be cool. Not all games need it, but I can see how racing games would like it. You could take sweet ass pictures of your car, or shooters would like it because you could take pictures of awesome kills and stuff. And
It should just be like on a case-by-case basis. Like, Shovel Knight probably doesn't need a photo mode, but something like Destiny, that'd be cool to have a photo mode in Destiny.
yeah. Not every game needs a full in-depth photo mode, but I think every game should have a capture.
Yeah.
I think
capture.
any game with a strong narrative experience can have a photo mode. For Destiny, it's kind of murky because I don't want someone on my team just going, oh, wait, hold on for like 5 minutes while I just take a perfectly seen photo of what we just did.
Yeah.
But I think for Last of Us, it works great. I think it would have worked great for Infamous. I don't know if it was as in-depth as it is for The Last of Us Remastered. I know they had something like it.
Yeah.
And I think foreseeable games in the future, they should have it probably for The Order. They should have it for what other PS4 games are we looking forward to?
The Witcher,
Dragon Age Inquisition.
The Order, Dragon Age.
Yeah, I don't know if they do that for something that's not multi-platform.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Yeah. Yeah. So, another question. Let's see. From Dennis, he asks, which game that's going to be shown at Gamescom are you most excited about? Honestly, right now it's got to be the BioWare game, since I don't know anything about it.
I don't know what all was going to be a Gamescom, so I can't properly answer that.
Well, almost probably every upcoming game, especially European games, which that's another good point to bring up, is that there's going to be a bunch of games that are announced that we have no idea what's going on or what they are right now because they are the European studio games.
My answer is one of those then.
Guerrilla Games, RPG.
Oh my god, that.
Yeah.
I can't actually think of anything specifically besides. I wish that they kind of let us know which developers were planning on doing stuff.
I think they have some sort of a itinerary somewhere online. I just don't remember seeing it.
I know IGN normally breaks stuff like that at some point or another.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too excited about seeing a lot of stuff that are coming up soon. Hopefully they have more on games that I haven't really looked into. Maybe like The Order. Maybe some more info on Batman Arkham Knight. I'm hoping to see stuff that are coming out next year.
This is the time that we're going to see the stuff that we don't know from the European places, and it's also going to be where we see the stuff that we didn't get to see at E3 for games that are coming out before the next E3. So like you're saying, Arkham Knight and The Order and stuff like that.
How about Inside? I kind of want to see Inside.
Is that
fair?
I don't remember what that was.
I don't remember.
Oh, okay, that was I think that was the Capcom game that was RPG-ish, and it was supposed to be really super Dark Souls-y. That or Bloodborne.
Oh, Bloodborne.
I guess I'm just excited for what I don't know. There you go.
The mystery.
I'm always excited to hear about new games. So.
All right, so then the last question is from Evan, and he asks, what do you think about retailers having their own pre-order bonuses for one game? An example would be Batman Arkham Knight that has 3 different bonuses for 3 different stores. Is this something you think we will see more of? Mong?
Oh, God. The answer that we will probably see more of it is yes, unfortunately, and it's awful because it's really annoying when you want, you want like this, but it's at that store, and either they're just like there was a pre-order bonus for a game, I forgot which one it was, that was only in stores that were like in Europe. I'm like, I can't possibly get that because I'm not going to go to Europe to get this game, and it's just it's horrible because it splits people up, and it's like just have a uniform pre-order bonus. That's it. Yeah,
I'm with you. I despise this method. I mean, it makes sense to get sales in different places. But I don't know. I hate it. I hate it so much. But it's going to be a thing. It's going to happen more and more often. We've seen this start to become more of a thing over the past 2 years now.
Which is a shame.
Yep.
That's why we need the all-digital future.
Or we just need a one box future.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Anyways, so let's talk about the new releases this week.
Woo.
On PlayStation 3, you've got Ultra Street Fighter 4 and Sacred 3 and The Swapper.
Woo!
Wait. What's the subtitle of Ultra Street Fighter 4?
I don't know. That's all it said on Metacritic.
Oh, wait.
Really?
I'll look it up. I'm pretty sure we have it on our site. No, we do not. Ultra Street Fighter 4 is all it says.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We'll say Super Turbo Championship Edition.
That's what it says everywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was. Oh, okay. I thought it was like an. You know how Capcom's like Ultra Squat Fighter 4, Second Impact, Third Wave, 52.
Yeah.
Squat Fighter.
Yeah, that's what I call it in our house because when we watch it on Evo, there's a lot of squatting involved. So I just started calling it Ultra Squat Fighter.
Nice. And then on PlayStation 4, you have Road Not Taken, which is a PlayStation Plus title this month for free. And then The Swapper. Woo! And then on Vita, you've got Tabletop Racing. I have no idea how that works.
That's Whipstone, I believe.
Road Not Taken, Metrico, which is also a PlayStation Plus title this month. And then The Swapper also on that one. Woo! So Swapper is out on every PlayStation console. Road Not Taken is out on PlayStation 4 and Vita. And yeah, that's it. Okay.
All right. Can I take Xbox?
Yeah, go ahead.
I guess. Right.
You got this.
All right, yeah, I got this. Hype. Xbox 360, you are getting Ultra Squat Fighter 4. You are also getting Sacred 3, which I have not heard good things about. So, be aware with that one. Xbox One players, you get to sit there and wait for Master Chief Edition because you have nothing coming out this week. I'm sorry. For PC players, as always, you have the most because, standards. RPG Tycoon on Monday, Jet Gunner on Monday, Mind, Path to Thalamus, I believe that's a memory thing, if my psychology class serves me, Rex Rocket, Road Not Taken, Back to Bed, Crawl, Kingdom Tales 2, Orbital Gear, Ultra Squat Fighter 4, Another Perspective, Victory at Sea, Frontline, Road to Moscow, and Gamers Go Makers. Okay.
Oh, man.
Go Makers.
Go Makers.
Go Makers.
So, on the Nintendo consoles, my ninja?
On Nintendo consoles, we have, for the Wii U, Jet Tailfin, coming out on Thursday, and Shut the Box on Thursday. On 3DS, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Is that based on the movie? Is that coming out?
Probably.
No idea. So we need to shut the box because Jet Tailfin is coming out to fight the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Awful.
No, that was awful.
No?
Awful.
Oh, man. I just feel like we could make a game out of the Nintendo titles every week because they're always so obscure and we have no idea what they are based on the context.
Yep.
So we should do that. That should be a game.
Also, for anyone who is like, oh, Jet Tailfin, that's probably was it jet boat racer or whatever? It might not be because it's Jet, Jett, which is like a name. So have fun figuring out what that is.
Okay, so that wraps up episode 45 of the Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast. We record on Tuesday nights, so we need you to submit all of your questions and comments before then to our emails at mong.podcast@gmail.com or at contact.mong@gmail.com. We release the podcast on Wednesday mornings most of the time, unless we get delayed by some reason or another. And then you can find our Twitter at mong.com, all spelled out, mong.and.com. And then you can find our YouTube at youtube.com/mongnetwork. Be sure and like and subscribe to this to our channel, or like this podcast episode on YouTube if you're listening to it on YouTube. And you can find us on Facebook, Tumblr, and Instagram by just searching Middle of Nowhere Gaming. And then be sure and also visit the website, middleofnowheregaming.com, for all of our latest editorials, news, and reviews. We've got a lot of really good editorials coming out lately. Since we've upgraded the team, we've had a lot more people interested in writing editorials. So make sure to check those out and comment on them because they are opinionated. So let them know what you think and all that stuff. Interact with our writers. And then you can find us all personally on Twitter. You can find me at Osborne_2009. You can find Lou at
Lou Cantaldi.
And you can find Miles at
Furious Milk.
Oh, good times, good times. I still love that picture. Furious. I'm furious. Okay, so we will talk to you all again next week. Mong?
Bye.
Mong.